Those are the things that can go wrong on the ollie. Wow, the giddy up is the key. I don't need to think. Ollie! My name's Aaron Cairo. I'm a sponsored skateboarder from the San Francisco Bay Area, and today I'm gonna teach you how to ollie while moving and ollie over an object. I'm basically gonna give you a master class on ollies. So I just recently made an ollie tutorial and I was getting a lot of messages into me saying, Aaron, I can only ollie while standing still but not while moving. What do I do? So I'm gonna cover how to ollie and every bit and piece of it in this masterclass. Here we go. Okay, so before you even get into an ollie, and I've been saying this for years and years and years and years and years, you need to be very comfortable riding this board. You need to be able to push, to turn, to tic-tac, back and forth, monster walks. All of these things are important because they give you a rock bottom base fundamental foundation before you start in on the ollie. You have to be really good riding your board. So if you skate to school, skate to the store, skate to your friend's house, all of these things are gonna help you a lot. Just get on that board and push every single day. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're gonna get and the better it's gonna be. So after you've done that and you've got a really good rock bottom foundation, we're gonna start you in on the ollie steps. So first things first, you're gonna put your front foot right about there and your back foot down on that tail. And you're gonna pop and you're gonna bend your front knee. Once you understand the foot position just like that, then we're gonna go into the practice step number 1, which is push down with this foot, lift this knee up like that. And you can even start by bending your knee out a little bit forward. The knee is going to go forward. That's gonna be vital on these future steps. Like that. Ready? And one thing you'll notice is as I'm popping down on this practice step, the wheels do move. It's a very interesting rolling motion actually. Actually what's occurring with your back foot is when you roll this in super slow motion, you can really see what this does. The wheels just slightly go just back. So you're actually pulling with your back foot, you're pulling the skateboard up into your front foot. And then your front foot is going to push that skateboard up into the air. So the actual motion of the ollie is going like this and then forward, and then ideally you're gonna bend your back knee up and push your front foot forward and it's gonna level out in the air. Just understand first things first is how that pop works. It's another very interesting factor. When you play this in super slow motion, your back foot is here and you pop and your back foot jumps about right there, leaves the board, fully leaves the board, then the board hits the ground. There's just like this split second timing right there where it goes boom and then that board hits the ground. Then this front foot drags up that board, causing the lift. It goes pow and then drags up like that and then pushes forward. The physics of it are kind of interesting. You can kind of go like boom. But when you pull it back, that board is coming up into your foot and then your foot is pushing up and forward into that board, creating that lift. The best thing we can do is do steps to mimic what is going to occur. You can only practice and then try to put it into effort in the real time and do the real trick, right? So practice step number 1 we already covered was this. Then practice step number 2, you're gonna work on this motion with your foot. Your foot is gonna drag on that board around right there. I do highly recommend a pair of suede shoes because the suede does grip really nicely on the grip tape. Good grip tape, fresh new grip tape if possible, and suede shoes will grip much better. If you have leather shoes or like running shoes, it's not gonna be as grippy. It's not gonna be as easy. So you're gonna practice that motion like that. It's just the motion that you're practicing of your foot, right? There are some other practice steps that I've seen people do on that. Like I've seen somebody put their foot on a ledge like that and then jump up. And I think that has helped some people. You're basically trying to get down the idea of what are my feet doing? And then you want to practice that to build the muscle memory into your leg and your foot and your ankle. Build that muscle memory into those muscles so that then you can put it all together. Boom, boom, blow into the air, and then bring the landing gear down and land. Okay, so after practice step 1 and 2, we're gonna put those together because now we're working on the timing. 1, 2, 1, 2. A lot of times when I say, okay, we're gonna teach you how to ollie, it's your first time ever, between the 1 and 2, it's either way too fast or way too slow. The timing on the ollie is really important. 1, 2, 1, 2, Now we're gonna do that, and we cannot forget to jump. You know, it's funny because I'm also posting a lot of these slow motion clips, and then there's some comments that are like, you are jumping so high. How do you jump so high? You're in the air forever. Well, A, it's slow motion, and B, there is this hack. This is something that's gonna really, really help you and could change your skateboarding forever. Don't necessarily think of it like, oh, I need to jump so high. This is not basketball. You're not trying to dunk. You're just trying to get that board up into the air. So instead of thinking about it like, how high can I jump? Think about it like this. How high can I lift my knees up into my chest? Knees up. If I'm standing right here and I lift my leg up, boom, I'm already that high, but I didn't jump at all. I don't know if I could do that like literally without jumping, but just bring both legs up. You see, you get the idea. So you can think of it like I'm bending my knees up. So you can do a high ollie. You are jumping, yes, but it is not the jump that it's relying upon. It is bending your knees up into the air, up into your chest, right? So think with that. It's all about the timing and how you're bending your knees up in relation to where everything else is. So you're gonna first practice this standing still. I gave you the 1, 2, and then the next practice step was putting that together, 1, 2. Now we're gonna put that all together. Your first ollie, if you've never ollied before, probably will look something like this. The reason why is because your front foot is not acclimated into what I said in the very beginning, where it's going up like that. But notice the point here that drags at is from my hip first, then my knee. So hip, knee, forward, and that creates a drag. Watch my front knee, boom. And then it goes like that, and then it goes forward. At the same time as my back foot goes up into the air. Chloe likes to call it the giddy up. She's like, Aaron, tell him to practice the giddy up. Chloe's filming this right now, so she knows what I'm talking about, right, Chloe?
Yes, so good.
She says yes, the giddy up is the key. But essentially what you're learning here is the timing between your front and your back foot. So it's easy for me to just say like, oh, pop the board and jump. Well, I've been doing this for 30 years. It's so built into my muscle memory, I don't need to think. But for you, who could be your first day on a skateboard, you will need to practice and think about the timing of it all. So it's important, skate every day, skate as much as you can and go out there and practice. To all the people that were like, Aaron, I can ollie standing still but not moving, what do I do? My answer is, I need to see what you're doing, so I am gonna figure out a great way for you to submit the skate supports. I'm gonna get those back in. I think where you went wrong is not practicing just riding enough, because if you have the basic of riding down really, really well and you're really comfortable, well here, I'm moving, I can do an ollie. I'm stopped, I can do an ollie. I'm moving, I can do an ollie. What's the difference? The only actual difference is that you are moving. You could think of it like the ground beneath you is moving if you want to. You're not moving, the ground is, and you're just doing an ollie. There's really no difference. The only difference is you are more comfortable standing on your board still than you are standing on your board rolling. So we go back to the earlier step and we get you comfortable rolling, fully comfortable rolling, and then from there, add in the ollie. So once you've got your ollie down on flat, you've been practicing these steps, you got it boom, boom, up. You understand that the bend of the knees is important and that will take you into the air. That was an amazing ollie. You understand that the bend of the knees is important and that'll take you into the air. And you got this motion down. Now from here, pick a crack and you go this one right here, where it goes from light to dark. I'm gonna ollie over that crack and focus on that. So you're gonna roll up to it, start out slow, have your eyes on that crack the whole time. So roll forward, bend down, give it a little pop. Tiniest little pop. When you very first start, probably looks something like this. And then eventually, as you practice more, because you're getting more comfortable with pop, drag, and push forward, you're gonna turn this into this. And it's easier to do that rolling. Eyes on the object, ollie. And pick a crack if you would like, that is not gonna stop you. So my personal story is when I first started skateboarding long, long ago, over 30 years ago, there was a hose. And I just wanted to ollie over that hose. And I believe it took me a solid 6 months to ollie over that hose. I didn't have YouTube, I didn't have Instagram or TikTok where I could go look up tutorials, but you guys do, so you have an extra bonus because you can learn the motions, you can learn what to do, you can practice it, and you can do it. Okay, once you have it down just on flat over a crack, now you can put a small object. I recommend a small object like a broom handle or a hose, something very, very small, and then ollie over that. So right here, I have a Best Beginner Complete skateboard, and I'm gonna ollie over that. So what I'm doing though, all the same motions apply. Your eyes are gonna be on the object the whole time, and then you're gonna get a little bit of speed, enough to make it over. You're gonna watch, and you're gonna want to pop your ollie early. Do it a lot earlier than you think, because more often than not, beginner skaters are gonna hit this object on the front, or they're gonna go kind of like too early and land, but usually it's too late. So pop earlier than you think, pop it, drag that foot up, and you just wanna create enough lift to get over it. So first I'll do like a really, really low beginner ollie, and I also wanna show you how speed affects it. Okay, so really small, ready? I even hit the board. I'm not dragging my foot up, I'm just doing a little tiny hop. So now I'm gonna go really slow and I'm gonna do a little tiny hop, and you'll see the speed effects. Got him. So now I'm gonna do that same ollie faster. Tiny little ollie, but you see how on the one I didn't make it over, and on the other one I did make it over. But you can't do that if you're not comfortable riding your board. It's always gonna go back to an earlier basic fundamental foundation that you're gonna build all your learning on, and in this case, it's riding the board. So okay, so I did a tiny little pop, just a minuscule little ollie. Now I'm gonna do a little bigger one. Little bigger, little tiny ollie. Good, and a little higher. I'm looking at the object the whole time. I'm trying to estimate, do I have enough speed to make it over? Is my speed and my height enough? This is like an advanced math calculation. So now I got that. Now I feel like, okay, I've progressed. So now what the next step is to go like this. Boom, put it up like that, right? Ollie! Now it's a little higher. I need to pop a little higher, maybe go a little faster. And I need to get it up as high as I possibly can while bending my knees. Keep in mind, that's the key. I swear, I don't even really need to do like a big jump. It's all in the knees. Bend down, look at the object, pop, jump up, bend your knees, sail over, and have an absolute blast. Okay, so some common mistakes that happen with the ollie. The number one mistake, that you don't do this forward motion with the knee that drags the foot up. I've gotten hundreds of videos sent in to me that look like this. No drag at all. In fact, the foot isn't even like moving up the board at all. Whether or not you want to call it a drag or a lift or push forward, just that motion is not occurring at all. Literally, the front foot is just going like this. So it must at least lift that board up. The actual physics involved here, as we went over earlier, down, and it throws this momentum. You have forward force going into your foot, but then you lift the board up. If you don't do the motion to lift the board up, it's never gonna lift. That's the number one most common mistake. The next one is that with your back foot, you don't pop and then jump. You literally hold it down with your back foot like this. You're basically, instead of doing the giddy up like that, you're just going like that. You're doing half giddy up, which makes the ollie look kind of like this. Well, you're never gonna get the board up into the air because your back foot is physically holding the board down from the tail. So to fix that, you need to run through all the practice steps. You need to break your prior muscle memory, which hopefully you haven't like practiced that too much, because if you did, it's really gonna take some effort to break that. And understand what you're trying to do, and then do all of those steps and combine them. Those are the things that can go wrong on the ollie. So tricks to learn before the ollie, essentially, if you want to just ride or just riding. But there are a lot of things that I could say, like when I went over at the beginning of the video with the monster walks. So I actually made a whole list on the Braille skateboarding app that goes through this. I call it like pre-basic tricks. There's about 10 or even 20 tricks that you can learn that just help you get ready for the ollie. Things like backside 180, pivot, frontside 180, pivot. The monster walk I feel like is a really good one. especially because you're moving and in motion. So these are all things that are getting you more comfortable riding your board. Truth is, if you're riding this thing every day, everywhere you go, to the store, school, etc., you're gonna get really comfortable on it, and that's gonna make a world of difference for you.
Good. I think that's good.
If there is anything I did not cover in this video, please leave it in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to check it out, make a new updated video, and keep you guys pushing. I'm making these videos to teach you guys how to skate on this board as long as you possibly can, learn every trick that you ever wanted to know, and just keep on pushing on your skateboard for as long as you want. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment below, and you, yes you, learn to ride a skateboard. We have everything you need at brailleskateboarding.com.